Good morning. Hmm. Today's title, Ninth Wave, Iconoclasts, the Renegade Voices. And I wrote, there are always forerunners to every major change. Jesus had John the Baptist. Today we have David Icke, Benjamin Fulford, Calleman, and so many more. An increasing number of people are hearing the message being delivered by the growing army of renegade voices, men and women paving the way for a brighter tomorrow. We iconoclasts are the system busters. Oh, I am so amazed that all three of those men that I named are friends of mine on either Facebook or YouTube. And how they heard about me, I have no idea, for I stand on the shoulders of those three and so many more that have been part of my world for the past several years, especially as the lawsuit forced me to look deeper into the things that were going on. Initially, after 9/11, I became aware of the 9/11 truth, and I must have watched, oh, I don't know, 20 or 30 videos about 9/11 over the course of the time since 9/11, the almost 20 or almost 10 years now. That was the first real revelation of a conspiracy, and I think it woke a lot of people up. But uh, there's so much more going on, uh, and so many more people that I've been in tune to and listening to for a number of years now, both in my Wednesday night group, although a lot of it is spiritual stuff, a lot of it has been waking people up to the political realities of our world, and the spiritual enlightenment group that I belong to for pretty much the entire period of time. Uh, we too, in that group, have watched considerable number of videos and lectures on what's happening in our world. David Icke, for those of you that may not be aware of him, although I would imagine that most people that would listen to me are familiar with David. David was, of course, a professional soccer player on one of the soccer teams or British football teams. And he also was a sportscaster for the BBC, who started out, what is it, early 90s, I think, is when he began. And he couldn't put very many people in, there weren't very many people in the rooms for his first lectures, and he was ridiculed on national TV in Britain. But today, I mean, he talks to sold out audiences all over the world. And Benjamin Fulford was one of the Canadian sons of one of the Canadian uh, elite members, and he rebelled at 17, went to Brazil and lived with stayed for a while with an indigenous tribe, uh, doing ayahuasca and other things. I think they were even a tribe of cannibals, if I remember the story correctly. And then, of course, he became the Far East representative for Forbes magazine. He speaks Japanese fluently. He lives in Japan. And he has some tremendous insights that he presents to the world. And if you're not familiar with him, I suggest that you Google him. His website is a pay website, but I've noticed other websites that post his material for free. And then, of course, Calleman is the father of this ninth wave phenomenon and awareness that is sweeping the planet that so many people know about. And I actually learned through Ian Lungold about Calleman. We all miss Ian. He was a tremendous spokesman. But these are just three people. Again, I choose them not because they're the only ones, but because they are friends on, as I said, Facebook and YouTube. And even though I've never had personal messages from any of them, they've all signed up for on my networking system. And I'm so grateful for that, for them, and for all that they are doing, and for all that the many others that I haven't named, some of whom I don't even know myself, that are doing, each of us are doing our part to help awaken people to the realities of our world. And I'm not talking about simply the spiritual realities. I'm talking about the political realities, which that's part of the spiritual awakening to me. It's an important part. It's an explosion of light that's happening. And I just looked down at my computer screen, and I have up my Tuts message for this morning from Mike Dooley. And he says, it's always a message from the universe. And it's real short. Some people think, Ron, that some things are meant to be. Meant by whom? Not me, the universe. And I think the PS, although I can't see it on the screen, was something about you can have anything you want. And we can all focus on the world that we're creating. As I've said in one of the recent videos, our future is actually calling us forward. It's calling us to see from a different perspective, not where we've been, but where we're going. And of those of you that are able to see that, will be able to see, even when you do watch the news, the mainstream news, you'll be able to see behind the news and know that so much of what goes up on the television screens of our world is total BS. I mean, it's just not the reality that they're trying to present. This whole thing with the economy in the United States, that they had to raise the debt ceiling, and that they're going to take $2 trillion off the budget over the next X number of years, and all this. I mean, this is such crap, folks. I mean, you'll see behind it when you understand that there is no shortage of money. What's happening is that, as Benjamin points out, is that so many of the funds that some of these people have tried to steal are being frozen by the light workers. There's so much going on behind the scenes that never makes the mainstream news, and so many people in our world, if it's not on the mainstream news, it isn't happening, and therefore they're missing 9/10 of what is really happening in the world to shift everything to a higher plane of consciousness, to a higher state of awareness in humanity. The earth itself, its very vibration, as I've said before, is being elevated. And everything that's on the earth, in the earth, part of the earth, is being elevated in frequency. The frequencies are going up. This is part of the awakening. The what's the word? The photons, the positive light energy that's particleized is actually, we're swimming in that photon belt. We're swimming in it. The solar system is swimming in it. This is the awakening. This is what's, oh God, I forgot the title of that book that my friend has been reading to me, that I actually looked up online and found an audio version of it. Bringers of the Dawn, which came out, what, almost 20 years ago now. I read it in the early to mid 90s. Another forerunner. I can't remember the lady's name that wrote that book. Not Jane Roberts. That was the Seth material. Oh, I don't remember her name off the top of my head now. But these are some of the renegade voices that have been being raised since the harmonic convergence in 1987. And it's a beautiful thing that's happening. And most of it does not make the mainstream news. If there's a war going on, we hear about the war on drugs, the war on terror, the war on, going way back, the war on poverty, and everything that the governments put a war on increases. It doesn't decrease, it increases. Why? Because the government is responsible for the very things it claims to be fighting. It's all doublespeak. And these are some of the things that the renegade iconoclasts have been telling you all along. David has been saying all along, pay attention to the elite establishment, to the Illuminati, to the power behind the thing. Pay attention. It's problem, reaction, solution. They create a problem. They get a reaction from the people so that they can impose their solution upon the people. And it's all about control, control, control. But this whole system is breaking down. The matrix is falling apart. Why? Because people like you and people like me are waking up. We are getting the message, and some of us, like me, are spreading the message. And some of you that may not have your own video channel, you can spread it by sharing the videos of not just my videos, but the videos of others that are part of the awakening. And there's so many that I didn't name. I mean, it's a growing army, and I don't like using the word army at all because it implies militarism. But in a sense, it is militaristic, but it's a peaceful militarism. It's a militarism of ideas, of ideologies, a clashing of truth with all of the lies that have been embedded in our culture and in our thinking and in the matrix system. And this is what's happening in our world today. And so many are becoming aware and awakened that it's mind-boggling to me. The number of, I've already, what was it? I think my video from a week ago Monday, I didn't look this morning, but last night, if I'm not mistaken, it was already over 10,000 people. It was either in first or second place of all the videos that I've ever done. And that's amazing. That's amazing to me about the Supreme Court ruling. And yes, I'm getting near completion with my paperwork to submit on my court matter to the appeal court. And I've included parts of that ruling from the Supreme Court, claiming again my sovereignty, just reaffirming that this is who I am. And so many of us are claiming our free man on the land thing. We're being aware of the comprehensive annual financial report, all the money that they've hidden under the table, as it were. All of that wealth and all of those resources are going to be made available to the light workers as the old world order collapses. They're not going to be able to achieve their new world order of total domination. Why? Because you can't create conspiracies in the light. And there's a lot of light going on. A whole lot of shaking going on, as Jerry Lee Lewis used to sing. And this is the time that we're living in. And I want to encourage you with all of my heart to listen to your heart. You are you. Pay attention, because the truth is in you, and you will resonate with the truth when you hear it. You will vibrate, your frequency will vibrate, and you will feel it, and you will have knowings that, hey, this is real. This is the truth. This is what I've been waiting for. And you will want to share it with your friends, and some of your friends will listen and some of them won't. And don't sweat it, because everybody's going to wake up sooner or later. This is in the cards. It's the divine conspiracy for all of us to become the best that we can be. And many people are already there, and many are on their way, and many more will be on their way. As the world shifts and as everything changes, and as the iconoclasts and the renegade voices and the system busters continue to have the message go out over the airwaves, permeating human consciousness with the new paradigm reality of unity and of cooperation. This is the time we've been waiting for. This is the ninth wave. This is the budding. And it's a wonderful thing. It's such a wonderful thing. Thank you once again for all of you that listen to my messages and share them with your friends. It's so much appreciated by so many people, more than I realize even. May you be blessed. Namaste.